There's something wrong with the baby monitor. I never wanted kids. I loved my freedom. Late nights, spontaneous trips, no one depending on me. But when my wife Claire told me she was pregnant, something changed. I won't pretend I wasn't terrified, but the moment I held Olivia in my arms, I knew I'd die for her. I'd protect her from anything. I just didn't know what I was protecting her from. The first few months were a blur of sleepless nights, dirty diapers, and an exhaustion so deep I started questioning reality. Claire and I fell into a routine. One of us would sleep while the other took the night shift with Olivia. We bought a baby monitor to make things easier. Top of the line, night vision, motion sensors, even a microphone so we could talk to her. It gave us peace of mind until we started hearing things. It began about a month after Olivia moved to her crib. One night, around 2 a.m., I woke up to static coming from the monitor. Not loud, but enough to stir me from sleep. At first, I thought it was just interference, maybe from the Wi-Fi or a neighbor's baby monitor. I glanced at the screen. Olivia was asleep, her tiny chest rising and falling. I should have gone back to sleep, but the static didn't stop. It grew heavier, like a storm far in the distance. It had a weird depth to it, like something was beneath it, and then a whisper. I sat up so fast my vision blurred. The whisper was faint, but it was there, hidden beneath the static, just barely audible. I held my breath and listened. At first, I thought it was Claire talking in her sleep, but no, her back was to me. Slow breaths even. Dead. Asleep. I turned back to the monitor. The static crackled again, and then, just for a second, the screen flickered. My stomach dropped. Because for that split second, Olivia wasn't alone. I rushed to Olivia's room, heart pounding. The monitor had to be glitching. Maybe it was delayed footage, a shadow from the nightlight, something logical. But as soon as I stepped inside, I knew something was wrong. The air felt heavy, like stepping into a room that had just been occupied, where the warmth of another body still lingered. The hairs on my arms stood up. I checked the crib. Olivia was fast asleep, peaceful. Nothing was wrong. Then I looked at the closet. The door was open just a crack. I always closed that door before bed. Slowly, I moved toward it, trying to ignore the deep prickle of unease crawling up my spine. I reached out and pulled the door open in one swift motion. Nothing. Just her tiny clothes, neatly hung, her stuffed animals on the shelf, a pile of diapers. I exhaled, shaking my head. I was losing it. Just exhaustion. But as I turned to leave, something caught my eye. The stuffed animals. They were all facing the wrong way. Every single one of them. Their backs to the room, as if they didn't want to see what had been in there with them. The next few nights, the whispering on the monitor got worse. It wasn't just faint murmurs anymore. Sometimes it almost sounded like breathing. Other times the whispers formed actual words, though never loud enough to fully understand. Claire still thought it was interference. "It's an open frequency," she said, adjusting the monitor settings. Maybe we're picking up another baby monitor nearby. I wanted to believe her, but deep down I knew better. The night Claire finally heard it for herself was the night everything changed. I woke up to her shaking me. Her face was pale, eyes wide with fear. "Michael," she whispered, "listen." She shoved the monitor at me, her hands trembling. I blinked, rubbing my eyes before focusing on the screen. The static was worse tonight. Deeper, distorted. And beneath it, a whisper. But this time, it was clearer. This time, I could hear what it was saying. "Don't let her see me." My blood turned to ice. Claire's voice was barely above a whisper. "What the hell does that mean?" I didn't answer, because I was watching the monitor, and right before the screen flickered again, something moved in Olivia's crib. It's not just on the monitor. Anymore. We ran to Olivia's room, practically throwing the door open. Nothing. Just Olivia. sound asleep in her crib, but the closet door, it was open again. Claire grabbed my arm. Michael, we closed that. I stepped forward cautiously, trying to shake the feeling of being watched. My fingers twitched toward the closet handle. Something in my gut screamed at me not to open it. Claire whispered, Michael, don't. But I already had, and this time, the closet wasn't empty. At first, I thought I was seeing things. The darkness seemed deeper than it should have been, swallowing the soft glow of the nightlight. Then, deep in the shadows, something shifted. Not fast, slow, deliberate, like it wanted me to see. Deliberate, like it. The static from the baby monitor crackled louder. And then, a low, rasping whisper right behind me. She can see me now. The final sign. I turned so fast my vision blurred. Olivia's eyes were open, wide, unblinking. But she wasn't looking at me. She was looking past me, right into the dark corner of the room. And then, she giggled. My stomach twisted. I forced myself to turn back toward the closet. The darkness there seemed deeper now, stretching out instead of in, like a hole opening into something I couldn't understand. And then, for the first time, I saw it. Long fingers stretching out of the dark, curling around the edge of the crib. And then, a smile. Teeth, white and too many, gleaming just beyond the threshold of the dark. Claire screamed. The baby monitor erupted in static. And the last thing I remember was the whisper, right in my ear. She's mine now.